I've watched our city lose tens of thousands of jobs. I'm 58 years old, and the population of Detroit has declined every single year I've been alive. But that's changing now, as our city's recovery is fueled by a renewed spirit of unity and a commitment to creating a comeback that includes all Detroiters.
Well, the conventional wisdom about Detroit is that the city's problems began in the 1960s with growing racial conflict.
This is going to happen all over America. It's going to be a hot world, not a hot summer.
The rise of a Black Power movement.
Tense quiet, everybody looking around.
The fires burned for 5 days.
Global restructuring of the auto industry in the 1970s and beyond.
Nobody buying cars no more. For the simple fact that, the economy, the gas situation, and it's a major crisis.
As a historian, I started digging around, really trying to make sense out of what happened in terms of race, what happened in terms of economics in metropolitan Detroit. And it became very clear to me that to understand what happened to the city requires going significantly further back than the tumult of the 1960s or the economic woes of the 1970s. The conventional wisdom on Detroit was very much that it was a problem of bad leadership in the city. It was a problem of corruption. It was a problem of extravagant spending in a place that didn't have the resources to spend. Au contraire, dramatic population collapse. And with that came a dramatic decline in the revenue available for the city. Detroit also did have, the cost of maintaining a creaking, increasingly decrepit infrastructure. The city is mostly an early 20th century city. Sewers, the roads, the street lights. You've got the need for police and fire services over 139 square miles. These are costly.
Getting on fire department was great for me. I mean, in so many ways. And I really appreciate having that job. It's just great, man, all the way through. Being with the guys, fighting the fires, the things I've seen I never seen before, I wouldn't have seen. I love that job.
Detroit was reshaped by three major forces that were occurring simultaneously and interacting with each other. Workplace discrimination, flight of jobs, and housing segregation, all occurring in the supposed heyday of the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. And you see the groundwork laid for the racial conflict and for the intensifying racial inequalities of the 1960s and beyond.